back to the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm Darren Stemple.
I'm Morgan Santo.
And I'm Meg Bradbury.
Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. We are trying out new release times and release schedules, so you may miss one if we release it at an odd time. So hit that bell for the notification. You can also find us anywhere you get your podcasts. You can find us on social media: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all at the Nerd Rundown. Before we get to the Nerd Rundown, let's hear a word about our sponsor, Combat the Chaos, on this Memorial Day weekend. It's no secret here at the Nerd Rundown that we support our veterans and our first responders. We ask that you do the same thing through our sponsor, Combat the Chaos. They're a veteran-owned clothing company that donates part of their proceeds to other amazing organizations supporting these warriors and guardians. If you're a veteran, you're at a 57% higher risk of suicide than those who have not served. As a veteran myself, this cause hits very close to home. This shirt and hat are some of the items available if you follow our link in the description down below to combatthechaos.com. Use the discount code NRD for 15% off and help us fight this battle that veterans and first responders so desperately need. Now, back to the rundown. All right, welcome back to the Nerd Rundown podcast. Here on the round table, we've got Meg and Morg. I wanted to talk about kind of a big topical thing in the nerd world right now, and that's series finales in 2023. We just got Successions this past weekend. Have not watched it, so don't worry about spoilers coming. Ted Lasso's coming up on Tuesday, and that's looking to be a really emotional ride. And then we're also going to get Yellowstone. The final half of Yellowstone starts this Thursday on Paramount. At eight episodes for the second half of season 5, and then that series is over. So a lot of finality coming. What do you guys think about these three giant shows coming to an end? I'll start with you, Meg. We haven't talked to you in a while, so welcome back to the show. Start with you. What do you think about these series finales?
I feel kind of like left out of the loop because I'm only sort of invested in a couple of them.
Yeah.
And I'm behind on both of those. So Ted Lasso, I've been trying to convince my husband to watch it. And I need someone that he works with to suggest it to him, because it's coming from, it's like on Modern Family when Claire suggests something to Phil, he doesn't take it, but when someone else does, he will. It's the same situation.
I get it. I'm a guy. I understand. I do the same thing. I get it.
Do you want me to write him a letter? I'll write him a letter.
Yeah.
But see, he knows that I talk about it with you guys, so I think it's like the same thing. So I don't know where that block is coming from. But so I'm behind on Ted Lasso, and we are catching up on Yellowstone. I'm I'm sad to know that it's ending, but I'm very excited to see what's coming. We're towards the end of season 4 now, and I love that show. But the other ones I haven't had the time or haven't made the time to catch.
Morg, what do you think about these series finales?
I am in pretty much the exact same boat as Meg. So I haven't touched Succession at all. I know.
You guys suck.
I know. Come on. I have to watch Lost. There's so much I have to watch. All right. So I haven't touched that.
Lost,
Now, Yellowstone, I'm pretty sure I'm like a full season behind.
Really? I thought you were caught up.
I was doing pretty good. Then they had that 2-hour season premiere recently, and I didn't watch it. And then we just fell behind, and I'm like, so now I need to watch it. Now
maybe you can watch all of season 5. Catch up before this second.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because I want to watch it. I don't have a real reason to. I just got distracted with other stuff. Ted Lasso, I am 1 episode behind. We didn't get a chance. I know, and I know. People were texting me. I know.
Last one is so damn good.
I can't wait to see. I'm sad it's ending, but I'm happy it's ending because it's ending on a high note. The
season's been strong.
I like shows that know, we're going to do a certain amount of seasons to end it. I think that's what I prefer now, because you're going to get a real story that has a beginning, middle, and an end.
Right. Well, these three TV series, like I said, they're giants. They all have kind of owned the time when they're on. When they're on, funny enough, that Succession and Ted Lasso kind of went up head to head as they both premiered in March. But two different kind of shows, maybe two different, not necessarily two different audiences, but definitely two different tones and genres. You have an incredible story in Succession, which is, if you haven't started Succession, I highly recommend it. It's one of those shows that gives you this look into like ultra filthy rich people, but makes it super relatable. Like, how am I able to relate to a billionaire? And they do it so well. Like they make you relate to this billionaire family so well through family drama, through other kind of things. And it's just like, dang, man, that's smart, creative, really, really, really intense show. The writing is just phenomenal. The performances this season, Kieran Culkin might win an Emmy. He's been really strong. I know you guys haven't seen it, but you'll see when you do catch up on it, you'll see just the way he's transformed that character into almost he was the comic relief, and now he's kind of the one everybody's almost rooting for.
He doesn't drink too much soda in there, does he? Home Alone reference. Let's go. Fuller what's the bed.
And Yellowstone, the first season of Yellowstone is going to be some of the best drama, or even I would say season 3, like the season from the night where Rip saves Beth at her office to the end of season 3. That was some of the most intense TV I've ever seen in my life. Like I shaking.
That was a crazy ending.
That was on my brain for like a good several days.
That was a crazy ending for season 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like that's, if you can, capture your audience like that, you have created something worthwhile. But the cream of the crop here, Ted Lasso, has been just an incredible ride. First season, the way it came out and blew everybody away, and then the second season they definitely they had a really strong season. Maybe not so much consistent as season 1, but some super strong episodes. It was the Christmas episode, the funeral episode, some of the best Ted episodes. But this season, man, holy cow, this season has been an emotional ride. And not to give anything away, but you kind of see where it's going now for the finale. If you're caught up, you kind of know.
I gotta watch. It makes
me want to cry so bad because it's so good. I just tip my hat to that whole team on the Ted Lasso team, because it's just there was a couple episodes ago where the first half was like hardcore comedy, and then it was the second half was just like emotional gut punch after emotional gut punch after emotional gut punch. Right. It's crazy how they can do that. So 3 giants coming to an end. We've got other shows that are still going strong. We've covered a few of them here, but who's going to be the next what's going to be the next Succession? That's how good that show is.
Meg, did you say you're in season 3 Ted Lasso?
Yeah, I watched season 1 and 2. I want to rewatch them with my husband if he'll let me make him, and then start season 3.
Okay. I just think of it's just Pepe.
I'm watching my reaction channel. All the time. Just let it go. I'm watching a reaction channel, and that was literally the episode this morning from that. That's the season 2 premiere, actually. So it's funny that you say that. I just watched that this morning. Just let it flow, Poupe. I mean, you want to talk about an incredible character arc, Jamie Tart.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a story arc right there.
And this last episode was the best, which you're not caught up yet, Morg.
I know.
Maybe we'll have to end this recording soon so we can get you to watch it.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
All right, let's get to the rundown. Just want to tip my hat to those 3 big giants of TV. Who's going to be the next one? I will say Shrinking is probably the next best best thing to Ted Lasso, so it could be the next Ted. Great show right there with
Whatever the CW makes next for DC. That's going to be
oh yeah,
the next big thing.
the Arrowverse came to a close this year, this
About
past
time.
week as well. Yeah, about time. But that's a giant in its own right. The Arrowverse with Flash and Supergirl, they did the whole crossover. It was, it's got its audience. Not me, but
I'm pretty much up to date on Flash. I'll admit it.
well, speaking of the Flash, I'm glad you brought him up there, Morgan.
Yeah,
Good
a
segue
segue.
to the first thing on the rundown is we got 2 big trailers last week. We did a reaction for both of them, and it's been a great. Oh my gosh, this whole reaction show it's even like Eric's like I can't wait to do the next reaction. He's loving it. He's bought into it. So we've got a lot of new traffic on the show these days. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, and the bell for notifications. But these reactions, the Flash first one, we reacted to. I'll let you guys talk about it because I talked about it enough last week. I'll start with you on this one, Morg. What do you think of the Flash trailer?
It looks good, and it annoys me. I because I don't want to see it. Like, I don't want to like it, but I think I'm going to like it, knowing damn well, like, potentially nothing really comes out of it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They might
Sure.
use it as a stepping stone to make a new universe or something, but
Sure.
nothing's coming out of it. Now, I've seen some people talk about the movie with no spoilers that have gotten to see it. And they said when they saw it, the movie ends early. They don't show them. They didn't even show them the whole movie.
Oh,
They got to see it early.
okay.
Like super early. They got to see it super early, and
What could it be?
They said they cut it at an important moment where they're introducing somebody, but you don't see who it is.
Okay.
That's where they cut it for them. And it's the end of the movie. So, there's a lot of speculation of what they're going to introduce. My guess would be it's something that helps tie it into whatever James Gunn is going to do.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to see it. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to see it.
I can't wait to see it, dude. I
want to see Keaton.
Yeah,
I want to see Affleck. Like, I'm more excited to see Keaton and Affleck in the movie than I am to watch Barry.
Okay. No, totally. Yeah, that's what I said in the reaction. I was like, we're really here for Batman 89. But we also got some really sick ass Batfleck scenes in that trailer.
I love Batfleck.
Too. And I have to correct myself. In the reaction, I said Ben Affleck came out and said that he really nailed his Bruce Wayne in this episode or in this movie. What I meant to say was he came out and said he nailed his Batman in this one.
Good.
Which is really interesting because I know there's a big divide on, some people think he's a really great Bruce Wayne and he's a really great Batman. There's not a lot of in between. So
I think he's the best. Both worlds.
I love him. So we got some cool scenes from that. Meg, what did you think of the Flash? Coming from a non DC nerd, what did you think of the Flash trailer?
So I thought the trailer looked really good, which doesn't always bode well for the actual movie. I'm not as tied to it. I'm not as worried about it or excited about it as you guys are.
Sure.
I don't think it's probably going to be one that I go see. Maybe I'll wait till it's available at home probably, but it definitely looked, I was surprised by the end of the trailer. I was like, okay, this actually looks legit. But I'm going to probably never speak to me again, but I've never seen any of the Batfleck movies.
What?
It just
any of them? Not even like
a
Justice League.
no.
Really? Did we know this?
I think his silhouette was in the Peacemaker. Was he actually in that at all?
Yeah, the silhouette was, yeah.
There's the Superman silhouette and the Batman silhouette.
Yeah, but
That's
no,
funny.
I've never actually seen any of those. I don't even know if I've seen the trailer for any of those.
Look up just YouTube at some point his fight scene in Batman v Superman. Him fighting the warehouse.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's
sick.
an awesome Batman scene.
Yeah, gives you the full breadth of what Batman can do.
Yeah, especially when you stop caring about whether anybody dies.
The whole Batman doesn't kill thing does go out right out the window.
Yeah.
All right, so the other reaction we did was for the Barbie trailer, and I'll start with you on this one, Meg. I know you're just out of your mind excited for this one. What did you think of this trailer?
Yeah, I'm trying to temper my excitement a little bit because I don't want to be disappointed, but it just looks so good. And it looks like my childhood playroom come to life.
Yes.
So we had like this spare little, like, it's a closet now, but off my bedroom when I was a kid. And that's where it was my Barbie room. And I have like over 100 Barbies. I've got all the different, occupations. And I have the three-story dream house with the elevator and the Corvette. And my dad made me a little horse stall and everything. So I was like super, Captain Barbie when I was a kid. And I
New
just
nickname incoming?
maybe so.
Yeah.
But the rollerblades and the outfit when they're rollerblading is it's like exactly
It's an iconic look.
Yes, it is so
Yes.
perfect. And the trailers, I love like the little snippets that we've been getting. And then the most recent one that gives us a plot. I don't even care that it's not realistic. I don't care. I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. I've made plans with a woman from work to go see it because my husband's not going to go see that.
Why? He doesn't want to go see that.
Yeah, no.
Listen, we are all a nerd in our own way, as we say on this show many times. And I just saw it in Meg. Like, I freaking love the excitement Meg has for this movie and the feeling that she has about her childhood coming to life. That is the epitome of, kind of just nerding out. And that was sick to see. Thank you, Meg, for sharing that. That was awesome.
I should have put that on my haphazardly nerdy shirt. I should have put that
You might have to give a whole view of that here.
Yeah.
Meg made her own Harry Potter shirt for the night.
It's got plants, it's got books, it's got Harry Potter. I put it in foil because that's what I had available. It's just a practice run.
She made
Baby
that.
Yoda.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty.
I want to be on. I want to be on the
nerdy.
next Maker episode. You guys do.
Yeah, well,
There we go.
we're gonna need to talk to Brett King about that. And Brett King is he has not seen Ted Lasso 2, so I need your help on that one, Morg. Okay.
Yeah. We're slacking.
Yeah,
Slacking.
he really hates soccer.
You should use Scrubs as a bargaining chip, Stemp. You should watch Scrubs, and he's got to watch Ted Lasso.
That is a lot more Scrubs than there is Ted Lasso. That is not a
Worth
fair
it.
trade.
It's worth it though. It's so good.
Scrubs. I'm watching Scrubs as we speak. Well, not literally right now, but I was watching it downstairs before I came up to record this. I was watching Scrubs. Season 3, episode 1. Season 3, episode 1.
That's how you prep for the show.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching Scrubs.
Gives me a character.
Well, listen, the Shrinking is made by and Ted Lasso is that's the same guy. He created all three. He created Scrubs, he created Ted Lasso, he created Shrinking. So, there's something there with that guy. He's got some magic to him. I can't remember his name, but man,
Isn't it like Bill something?
I'll have to look it up and give him credit. If I forget, I'll make sure I do it down in the description. But glad to see you're excited about the Barbie movie from the Barbie trailer there, man.
Yes, that one has made my calendar alerts.
Yes.
Like I know when that one's coming out and I'm excited.
I mean, Morg, you know what that feels like when the Lego movie came out. Like that was certainly I played with Legos growing up. You play with Legos now still.
I still play with Legos.
Yeah, exactly. So you can relate to that feeling of
yeah, like it's always fun seeing something that you loved in your childhood now coming to the big screen.
Yeah.
Because now you get to see it in a whole new way that just brings a new enjoyment to it. And watching like the Barbie trailer, my sister she's 3 years older than me. She had Barbies growing up, and I was around it, and they used to pick on me because I'd play with the Barbies McDonald's thing, but like we'd refill it with soda. Like, why would I play with that thing? I got soda. But no, I think this is going to be really funny. I don't think I'm not going to take like my kid to see this. This would be something like me and Deanna would see. I don't think.
Okay.
I'd have to see it first because I can't tell, like which route it's going to go with as far as the jokes.
Yeah.
Especially Barbie,
we already got the beach
represented,
house,
The beach on, yeah, they're clearly gonna
That was in the
like
second
that's funny
trailer.
because I'll laugh, he won't get that, but
Yeah.
I think it looks funny. I was cracking up when he was like he was gonna do the surgery, Ken. And he's like, they're like, "You're not a doctor." He goes, "Yeah, but I'm a man."
I need a cookie pen.
Yeah, I need a clicky pen. Where's the doctor? Oh, there you are, sir. It's just like
I like his first response was, "But I'm a man."
I know. He goes, "But I'm a man."
Like that's
just because like
that's the number one qualification.
Yeah,
Love that part.
Like, I always love seeing these characters like get hit with a dose of reality. That stuff always cracks me up.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a fun movie. I don't know if I'll see it in theater, so it'll probably. I'm gonna pick up.
We're gonna go see it opening weekend, and I'm gonna, I'm texting you, Morgan.
Yeah, I think I'm picking Oppenheimer over it.
That's gonna be the big debate, and we know who Meg's choosing.
I mean, there's no rule that you can't see 2 movies in one weekend.
That is what Matt Damon literally said recently.
Right.
And he's like, why can't it be both? I'm like, well, there's this thing called time and life,
and money.
And
money's like a fourth on the list.
I don't get to drive my Bentley to the theater and go see 2 movies.
Yeah. Well, speaking of other things from our childhood kind of coming to life, Morgan and I have played a game in the last 5-6 years. I can't remember. Quite remember. 2018 maybe. So 5 years. Spider-Man PS4, one of the greatest, not just video games, or just one of the greatest Spider-Man stories of all time. Yeah. One of the all-time Spider-Man stories. Just an all-time game, and the sequel's coming out here in August, I believe, or it's slated for later this year. I don't know if we have a date. But
I don't think we have a real date.
Yeah, it said fall. It's still saying fall.
So yeah.
But man, we got a bit of a reveal of the game this past weekend. Morgan, why don't you give us a little rundown on what we saw?
Yeah, I was not expecting 10 minutes of gameplay. I figured we'd get like a more narrative driven trailer. When we saw the opening footage, because I was trying to watch as much as I could, while working. You see this like hunting going on in the woods or a jungle or wherever it is, and you hear that voice in my head. I'm like, oh snap! This Spider-Man 2, that's Craven. I know it.
Yeah.
It leads into it, but seeing Peter Parker in the symbiote suit.
Yeah.
Oh, the gameplay. Like, if you look at the screen, you see there's 2 different control now. You have like the symbiote special moves you could do depending on what you hit, and so watch the footage, pay attention to the screen. You see different bars. The way you could switch, it looks like it just went from Peter Parker to Miles. I don't know if it's just story driven when it happens, or as you play, you could just go in between however you want. I don't know if they've quite said yet, but this game's going to be huge. The whole sequence is they're trying to get Craven's hunting the lizard is what it seems like. And at the same time, Spider-Man and Miles are hunting the lizard, but to stop them, not to hunt them.
Right.
And that's what the footage is. So going through New York and doing all that, the area looks bigger because they're going into Queens in the trailer and stuff. So we're not just stuck in Manhattan anymore.
Yeah.
It looks like we're getting more of New York here. So maybe we'll get the boroughs
and stuff and Queens. Yeah.
Exactly. So it looks like they're expanding it. Now again, it could just be for the sequence we saw. Who knows?
Sure.
But that symbiote fighting, like the way he sounded more agitated and angry with it on him, because that's what it does. That's what that does to you.
Yuri Lowenthal voices Peter Parker in the series, and he talked about having to change up his voice for the symbiote. Symbiote, I think.
I know. I've never been quite sure.
I don't know. That'll be a question for Meg later.
Google. I will have to clarify.
Symbiote. Very exciting though.
I've got a question for you about that though.
Okay, go ahead.
What face are we going to see when we see Peter Parker? The weird Tom Holland updated thing they did, or the original design? That's what I want to know.
Well, let me answer your question with a question. What could do you think they could go back to the old face?
Yes.
And people will be okay with it.
Yeah, I think people would be happy because
I think there'd be a lot of people happy.
Yeah, I for one hated they did those weird Tom Holland, like, because it didn't really
so
look like
weird.
him, and it's a different voice.
It's
that,
so
you know,
weird.
just,
Yeah, it's like the same voice, different face, and it's like
it was
like,
so jarring.
It like jars. It's jarring. It like messes your brain up, and after you've seen a face, a voice come out of a face for so long,
Right.
your expectations are very, very different.
I hope they go back. That's what I really want.
I have an idea though. One day, Meg, we should record for the reactions, you watching the 10-minute gameplay trailer and just have your thoughts come out on this gameplay and see and we'll just
Going
talk
into
about
it knowing
what you're
nothing
seeing,
about what's happening.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Is that something you would want to do?
I'm down for that. Totally. Yeah.
I think somebody who's like
There we
never
go.
played the game, never seen anything from the game, I think that'd
Yeah.
be fun.
I had to Google the face to see what it looks like, and it's unsettling.
That's the thing. It's just so jarring.
It's so
Yeah.
he looks like
I
a
don't like it.
26-year-old Spider-Man, which I feel like maybe like a 25-year-old Spider-Man. I don't know. To like a 16-year-old boy, maybe 14-year-old boy. Like
It's just so jarring.
it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then the with the voice, it's just like it makes me not even want to replay Miles' game almost, but still do because it's awesome.
Yes.
The other thing that we learned this weekend was Ubisoft is targeting an early 2024 release for their open world video game set in the Star Wars universe. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine an open world Star Wars game, Morgan? I mean, I know Survivor feels pretty freaking open world to me, but
right. Oh my god, yeah.
like how can it be any different?
Kobo's huge
bigger
on that
than
game.
that? I don't know. What do you think?
It depends on. I guess it depends on what route they go with it. Are they going for like a World of Warcraft style open world game, or something else? Like that's what's really going to make a difference here. Because if they're doing that like World of Warcraft, I'm out. Like I just can't get into it.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
Like just that. Like, have they said anything about multiplayer online, or did they make like when I hear open world, I think. Like I like the GTA or Red Dead style, not the open world of a World of Warcraft where it's that like top-down view.
Okay.
So it depends on what route they go with it.
Gotcha.
It's going to make a big difference.
I have no idea because it doesn't give any details.
Right. It just says
open world video game set in the Star Wars universe, which is cool because it give me a Star Wars like galaxy like where you can travel to like. More like Survivor right now feels like there's not a whole lot of worlds. I know there's like one coming up I haven't got to, but I want a world. I want to travel to Tatooine. I want to travel to Naboo. I want to travel to all the big worlds. I want to travel to Dagobah and Yavin 4 and all these different places. And I mean that's a massive game. I don't know if you can do it in any other way other than the World of Warcraft because it has to be kind of the engine needs to be so big for that.
Huge, yeah. I mean, honestly, I thought Tatooine was the only planet we need, isn't it? Where freaking everything happens. The farthest planet away that nobody's supposed to know about, but every damn thing happens there.
That's a very good point. And you know what else is a good point is we have some Spider-Man news coming up in different in a different form. As we have Across the Spider-Verse coming out in theaters this weekend, debuting about 2018? So about 5 years. Did we get Spider-Man, both the Spider-Man game and Into the Spider-Verse in 2018? Because I feel like that was 5 years ago when we got Into the Spider-Verse and a life-changing movie. And I know, Morgan, that you're excited for this, so I'll start with Meg. The reviews are saying it's a stunning achievement. have you seen Into the Spider-Verse, and are you excited to see this movie if you have?
I have not. Is this the one that's animated?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a hard pass for me. But I think it's probably in my future because my 4-year-old, my daughter, is constantly asking to watch Spidey and His Amazing Friends,
Oh,
and she's very into that. So, and it works out great when we watch the comic book stuff because she's very much, and even my 2-year-old, is that a good guy or a bad guy?
yeah.
And so we can file these people into one of two categories. So
That's easy.
she's very into those,
and white.
like we know who's good and who's bad in these shows and things. So I think that's probably, she's very into Spider-Man, and my son too.
Yeah.
He has a Spider-Man watch, and he likes to go through the house with his web shooters. And
Heck yeah.
so yeah, I think it's in my future, just not quite yet.
Listen, Spidey and His Amazing Friends was kind of the gateway for Joey, my youngest 3-year-old, to watch Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, it's coming.
Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Morgan, are you surprised by the early? I know you're not a big.
Nah.
You don't go off of the first reactions, and I get why, because they're so inconsistent. But
no, on this one, I'm
this
not
one,
surprised.
this one feels like yeah. We knew this was going to be as stunning as should be, right?
I'd be shocked if the reviews were bad.
Yeah.
I would have been shocked. That would scared me. But no, I'm excited. I mean, I'm going to be seeing this. There's nothing stopping me. So
it's nothing stopping me.
Nothing stopping me. I'm just saying I'm a little nervous because I'm going high into this.
Yeah.
I'm way up there going into this. So that has me a little nervous, but I'm really excited. But either way, I know like my kid will enjoy it. So
oh yeah,
either way, it'll be a good experience, a good time.
Into the Spider-Verse is a magical movie. It is one of those movies you watch and you're like,
it is, Eric.
I mean, right? Like, Eric, come on. That if there's
I know.
one
What
thing,
is he doing?
I don't know.
He's got to go watch Transformers or something.
But you want it, Meg, please give it a shot. I
good.
know animation. I wasn't big on the animation thing either. But you don't even realize you're watching. I mean, you've watched Pixar movies, so you know, like at some point you're like, I'm not even watching an animated movie. I'm watching a movie.
I mean, even Deanna likes it. She has no problem. Like, she loves it. Like, she, not that she hates animated, but like, she would never be like, yeah, let's go watch Spider-Man.
It touches every emotion, big time.
Oh, yeah,
it's so funny. But yeah, it's so sad.
Is there anything I need to watch that leads into it, or is it it's a standalone?
It's literally its own thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Watch it.
That feels less like a chore. Then I can.
You'll love it. I would put money down. I put a lot of stake on that.
I'll add it to the list.
Okay. Well, we got other kind of first reactions for the Transformers movie, and also very positive, saying this is the franchise's best, which I think I've been saying since I've seen that last trailer, because that was some of the best Transformer action we've gotten, and so that gave me a lot of hope for this movie. Morgan, what do you think about these first reactions? Not trusting
these are the ones where I'm like, yeah. I'm pretty sure they've said that about every Transformers. This is the best one yet. I know this is just something like I really just have no desire. And I feel bad because I remember there was a time, I remember when they announced the first Transformers. I was like, oh, you see the footage of them, transforming. Oh, it was so crazy, and I was so pumped, watched the first three. And then it was just like, I don't know, it's Mark Wahlberg getting brought in and nothing against him. But I don't know, then I lost touch with the film. I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. Nothing against my boy Mark, but,
he's actually
I just have no hope.
He's like a saving grace in the two he's in. I want to give this one a shot because the stuff I've seen from the trailers it doesn't have that Michael Bay stuff in it. Like they're getting away from that, which it gives me hope for I don't know if this is they're gonna have like a changing event that cuts off the Michael Bay universe or something. I don't know, but it gives me hope for a good Transformers movie. I'll say that. other hope that we got in the form of rumors, not confirmed, and I don't really ever say, that I like to report on rumors, but this one has gotten a lot of credit and backed up by a lot of people, and it sounds like they're just waiting until Comic-Con to announce it. The Fantastic Four cast was revealed, and it's actually people we have all talked about on the show. Adam Driver as Reed Richards, Margot Robbie as Sue. Man, that one almost went out of my mind. Morg, what do you think about the Fantastic Four casting?
So there's only two that I know, really. I didn't see Hamilton. I know of that guy. I've seen clips of him from Hamilton that's playing the Thing. I don't know. Now,
by the way, his name is David Diggs. That's who's playing the Thing.
Look it up.
Paul Mescal.
That's Mr. Noodle. Isn't that Mr. Noodle?
Is that who that is? It sounds so familiar. I'll get him in a second. Paul Mescal is going to be Johnny, by the way. So
I think he's the voice of Sebastian in the live action Little Mermaid too. I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. But yeah, he's Mr. Noodle.
I think you're
brother
right.
Mr. Noodle.
Paul Mescal is supposed to be he's supposed to be like a pretty big in the new Gladiator movie with
right. Yeah.
So that's interesting. Oh, David. Okay, I've seen this guy. Maybe just from Hamilton. Snowpiercer. Wonder.
Oh yeah, Snowpiercer.
Goodness gracious. Hey, there's also a show he's in called Extrapolations.
Oh yeah, the old Extrapolations. I've heard about that. I don't even know what that was.
That was a really dumb moment in my life.
We all have it.
It's on the internet, so forever. I'm not running from it,
I will say though, again, I did call out John Krasinski is not going to be Ray Richards.
You did. You know what? Hey,
once we saw him, I was like, no, he's not coming back. That's it. That's all we're getting.
And honestly, I was really excited about it, and then once it came in the form of Doctor Strange, that movie, like as a whole, was just like.
Sorry, Bill.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. So the other,
I don't know.
But the other piece of the casting that kind of came out is that it could be Antonio Banderas, in a Josh Brolin type Thanos role for Galactus, he's like one of the top 3, 4, maybe top 5 villains for sure, top 5 villains in all of Marvel Universe. He's never been done right. He was a Cloud. And
I was gonna say, how's he gonna play a Cloud of whatever?
I don't know, but kind of an inspired casting from Marvel on this one. I don't know, Meg. Does that put your antenna up a little bit for this? Can you see Antonio Banderas as a bad guy?
And not just a bad guy, but a giant world devouring being. That's what he's playing. Now put some boots.
As I was asking that question, I started thinking of him using the Puss in Boots voice for glasses.
Yeah, it's him.
No, I don't know. I'm not. I haven't seen the. Well, maybe I did see part of the Fantastic Four like a long, long time ago, but my most recent encounter with the Fantastic Four, we'll say, is through the Arrested Development. I'm rewatching that. When Tobias hooks up with Debris, who was like in the knockoff version of the Fantastic Four, but like I don't know. I don't really.
Tobias is one of the greatest.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Until I actually see like a trailer and, I'm assuming it's going to be CGI for I like Antonio Banderas' voice.
Yeah.
I'm on board for that, I guess, but I don't really have a strong feeling one way or the other.
What about the Adam Driver and Margot Robbie though?
I do like Adam Driver. It's interesting they're bringing Margot in, given her
DC
life in the DC, yeah.
And as Barbie now.
And now as Barbie. I mean, I think she's great. I think she's incredibly talented. I haven't seen anything that I don't like her in so far. So I think that's great. but it doesn't necessarily like make me say, well, I'm going to jump on board with Fantastic Four now.
Okay. That sounds like a Scorn fan right there. like, I've seen enough Fantastic Four shit in my life. Show me something better. More.
I feel like.
Go ahead.
I feel like they're definitely going to dive into Galactus's background now. With their hiring somebody like Antonio Banderas, like you don't hire him and give him a guy that is just a giant world devouring thing with like nothing to him, right, they're going to show his background, I would imagine, which could be very interesting if they actually like stick to it. That's
Celestial. His
background's very interesting. So I would imagine we'll get some more out of him if that's true, if it is going to be him.
It'd be interesting to see if he's like a big bad that is teased. I mean, he can't. He's so big. And I don't mean that literally. I mean, I do mean that literally. But he's a Thanos level villain. He's top 3.
Yeah, he wasn't
Avengers
always a bad guy.
and Fantastic Four. So he's a bad dude.
Yeah, he wasn't always a bad guy.
He was
until he got fused with his blown up planet and. Became a celestial.
They'll find a way for us to be like, oh, poor Galactus, or Galactus was right,
He's only eating planets I don't care about. It's not Earth.
Yeah, I was like, that was a whole Nazi planet he ate. It was just a whole planet of Nazis.
Yeah, that one. Who cares?
And then they gave him the taste.
Makes sense.
Like, well, okay, I get it, Galactus. You eat those Nazis. Next on the
Galactus, you get them.
Next on the rundown, word is that the Punisher with John Bernthal, one of all of our favorites here, is getting his own Disney Plus show, which will be teased. He's going to be appearing in Daredevil Born Again, and so they're going to tease the Punisher show in that, which is filming right now. Actually, I think it might be shut down because of the strike, but currently in production, I would say. Oh, what do you think about a Disney Plus Punisher Morgan Santo? I will say caveat, John Bernthal said he would not come back to the role if it wasn't going to be the same level of intensity. So, caveat.
I like that caveat. I'd say I am nervous. I feel like Disney Plus hasn't been doing too well from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they can turn things around with something like this. But I'm still just a little nervous, especially with the writer's strike. I mean, we've seen what a writer's strike can do. It can completely destroy
the greatest
some
show
stuff.
Of all time.
It can completely destroy things. So I mean, the show could not even launch for all we know because of a writer's strike. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want it to be good, and I want it to do, and I want it to be violent, like the other one was. I just want that intensity. That's what Frank Castle is.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole fight scene where he's in prison, taking on that whole like hallway because they love doing the hallway fights.
Yeah.
Like, I need to see that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure he's still like that. I need to see my gore.
All right. Okay. All right, so Meg, on the other side of this, not necessarily. I guess you'll see what I mean by that. So on the other side of this, you have. I know you're a big fan of the Netflix Punisher and John Bernthal as a person. Are you excited for this? Do you need the gore that the Netflix show provided, or are you just wanting more John Bernthal Punisher?
Yes.
all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need it to be gory and like disgusting, but I want to see him as the badass that he is.
Yeah.
If that's what Morgan is calling gore.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on board for that for sure.
Yeah. You want to see the graphic deaths, like how creative he is with it.
Like a broomstick in the neck. Yeah. You want to see that.
I love righteous violence, and that's what I feel like John Bernthal gives as the Punisher, and that's what I'm all about that. I'm for that. So, yes. So I don't know. I like you said, Morgan, I don't know that Disney Plus can, cut the mustard when it comes to that, but I'm cautiously optimistic as well. And that is one thing that I know my husband and I will be able to watch together, because he and I we made an appointment every week. We're going to watch, we're going to sit
Nice.
down and watch that on Netflix. So, if this actually comes to fruition, we'll be, butts on the couch to watch it for sure.
Though I do kind of hope that the whole season, John Bernthal has no lines. It's just him screaming the whole time. And then, the whole time. That's all I want. No words, just grunting and screaming the whole time.
That's good stuff.
And it's a win no matter what they do.
Yeah, right. Put it on a t-shirt, Righteous Violence. That was a good.
Yeah.
I like that. Sounds like it could be a band, it could be a movie, it could be a book, could be just what it is.
That's a good band name. I like that.
Yeah. Righteous Violence. All right, so let's move on here to the trailer train. Very small trailer train this week with one, and it's a movie coming to Apple Plus. It's called Hijack, starring Idris Elba. Start with you, Meg, on this one. What did you think of the Idris Elba led movie Hijack?
I mean, it's Idris Elba. I'm going to go with it because how do you not love him? The ticking clock, I think, is what it was at the beginning, like, counting down the hours. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we're taking
like
any
7
plane
hours.
flights. Yeah, I'm trying to think if we're taking any plane flights over the next 6 months or so, because that is just going to give me anxiety. As soon as you hear that, and then you see this, I don't know, it was very anxiety inducing, but it looks really, really good. I don't know that I recognized anybody except Idris Elba. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be great. It definitely looks, I don't want to say just anxiety inducing, but edge of your seat kind of thrill.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it a shot. It's not gonna bump anything else off my list, but it has made somewhere deep in the pile of things I have yet to watch. It's right on there.
I like that you say that you didn't recognize anybody, because there's somebody in here called, his name is Ben Miles. He was the captain on the plane, and he starred recently in a really great TV show called Andor, and so you'll see him there when you watch Andor.
I did. Wait, no, I haven't finished it yet, but I have been watching. I did. I don't know where I'm at. Are we even
friends, Meg? Like, do we talk anymore? We're just not, in a group chat that we talk in every single day.
I know. Hold on.
I'll finish it one of these days as well.
It's not because it's not good. I just have a lot of crap going on.
Yeah. Don't we all? We get it.
Yeah.
And then Max Beasley, he's a guy I'm starting to see pop up in a few more projects. Recently, I saw him in Operation Fortune with Jason Statham, and then he was also in The Outsider, which was a scary TV series on HBO, I believe it was. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, better. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Morgan, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's another plane getting hijacked movie, and we have our hero. I don't know. I watched it and I was like, I think just because it was that, it just drew me out. I was like, isn't there a Gerard Butler one that just came out or is coming out? And
yeah,
or maybe not.
I think
him.
It did come out.
I don't. Yeah,
I know exactly. Like
somebody that's like turning into a B action star now, but like. I can appreciate the twist that he's like a professional hostage negotiator.
Yeah.
So, it could put a different twist, and it looks like there's more involved to this than just a simple we're hijacking a plane.
Yeah.
That I can appreciate that intrigued me, but I don't know. I'll think I'll wait to see what one of you say. If it's good, maybe I'll throw it on with Deanna one night and I'll watch it.
Well, you stopped listening to me, so don't wait for me to tell you to watch it.
Have you seen Andor?
Yeah. Have you watched Severance? I have some backup here with me today.
What about Lost?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a fun thrill ride. I like those 2-hour thrill ride movies. I will say that the Liam Neeson and the Gerard Butler
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson
kind
had
of
one.
action movies don't really get me. But Apple Plus has been, we talked about it recently, been putting out some really great content. So let's get to the Nerd Box, which we have the questions submitted this week from some very special people, Mark and Libby Donahue, the owners of the Combat the Chaos company that is the sponsor of the Nerd Rundown. And they have a really great question for us here. And we'd love to hear your answers and comments, of course. But they write in, do you have a favorite drink during a certain show? They say, for example, we drink a canooper of whiskey during Yellowstone, which apparently is it's like a small coffee mug, like a mini coffee mug or an espresso cup. I think it was. We looked it up and it said that's what it was, of whiskey, which is funny because for my answer, I'll come back to it, but it's very similar. And I know that there was like a lot of people like to drink wine during Game of Thrones. That was a big thing. We went through that phase, but Morgan, I know you like your whiskey. Are you kind of on the same wavelength?
Yeah, so I had a little bit of a problem when it came to Hell on Wheels. So I would buy
on AMC, right?
AMC, yeah, on Wheels with Anson Mount, who's now a captain of a Starfleet ship in Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
But he basically worked on a railroad. It took place, what the 1800s. It was Western time. It was brutal, and he was what he was. But all they drank, nobody drank water. It was just nothing but whiskey. And I'd be like, oh man, I want some whiskey now. So I would buy this Blanton's whiskey, which is now hard to get, which kick myself in the ass. But the problem is like I'd be sitting there watching this hour-long show, just like, oh, this is so, yeah. So I'd be like, oh, show's over, go to get up and be like, uh-oh. Like, and look, I'm like, oh, like I have a bottle of whiskey. But no, if I'm watching anything that's a Western show, or even Yellowstone,
yeah,
I just like having a bourbon or something there. It just seems fitting for the show.
Yeah, for show. Meg?
Well, as the resident old person,
I like water.
My typical drink of choice is just water or a Gatorade if I've been particularly dehydrated that day. So I will say, back in college when I had no children to worry about, I think it was, I rewatched a lot of The Office then too, and Parks and Rec, and every Thursday after that was my last night class for the week, I would have gone before class and gotten a bottle of wine, Red Cat, shout out to Hazlitt Winery in New York, and get a bottle of Red Cat and watch that, after class on Thursday. And I don't think I usually had much of the bottle left over, but it was usually either rewatching The Office or Parks and Rec, and then eventually The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It was usually a bottle of wine.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I could change, from show to show. Like I said, we were on the wine train for Game of Thrones, and then, we started watching Yellowstone. And I'm not a whiskey drinker. I can't even stand the smell of it. I can't get it near me. And so these guys in Yellowstone are big cowboys. They're real men. They talk like this all the time and just really cool. Tater. Yeah. And
Tater.
They're drinking whiskey like it's water, and it just looks so good. And I was at a friend's birthday party, and he was drinking a glass of alcohol, and he had a big ice cube in it, and it looked like he was drinking whiskey. And I was like, "What are you drinking?" He's like, "Oh, we're drinking tequila." I'm like, "Oh, I like tequila. What is this? Tell me more." And I got into Añejo tequila after that, which is a very good sipping tequila.
Yeah, it was good.
And man, is it now I could watch Yellowstone with like a drink in hand and feel like I feel like I'm a man.
You got a brand of tequila you go for?
This is gonna. I don't know if what this is gonna do for my reputation as a man, but I get my anejo from Costco.
Nothing wrong. But you get in bulk. That's for most people. The problem
I
go
get
shopping.
the Kirkland.
You get the
anejo.
Kirkland brand.
It's so good. It has this like
I wasn't
honey.
expecting that.
Yeah, it has this like honey finish to it. It's so good. Oh my gosh.
Most people are like, well, I get the stuff on the top shelf. I get Kirkland brand tequila.
Hey, it's a good size bottle. It's a good price. It's worth it. I think, highly recommend it.
I think the reason we see them drinking, we're like, I'm going to drink is because in our head we know, like, all right, I'm not riding horses. I'm not wrangling cows. I'm not going out there like this. I could drink with you, that's what they're doing. That's close. See, I'm a man.
I'm part of the gang.
See, I'm just like them. I can drink.
That's a great question, and I'm sure there's other people out there who maybe they just have a beer for every episode of every TV show they watch. Who knows? I know Banana loves to have a glass of wine on Sunday nights with Succession. You got to have your drink. Great question from great people. Combat the Chaos we are so proud to partner with them. Incredible business, incredible people. Supporting veterans and first responders is maybe the easiest thing you can do, especially on a Memorial Day weekend here as we remember those who gave their lives so that we can do a silly podcast, here on YouTube and across the audio verse. Just really, really, really gives me a lot of perspective, as it usually does, but a little bit more this Memorial Day weekend as we partner, with Combat the Chaos and these incredible people that are Libby and Mark Donahue. So shout out to them. Welcome back to the show, Meg. It's good to have you back on. It's the summer. We'll be seeing you more.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yes, that's the plan. Maybe I'll get some games put together finally.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
And I'll say, Morg, we had people asking where you've been. So
now I have an Ethernet cable long enough to get to my laptop.
Functional internet.
So I thought my company that shall not be named was. Listen, when I Googled, it said it was good enough for gaming, so I assumed I could Zoom. I don't know. Apparently, I don't know how that shit works.
But you got it fixed, and you're back. Eric is out on PTO this week. Much deserved vacation for that man. We'll see you next week when you get back.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, watch, please. You like to watch movies on vacation.
Yeah, there we go.
And again, everybody who's watching new to the rundown, from all of our new reactions that we're getting, the new subscribers we're getting, thank you. Welcome to the Nerd Rundown. We are all a nerd in our own way, and we can all nerd out about something different. And that is just having a little bit of passion. We love being a nerd, so welcome to the Nerd Rundown. With that being said, we'll see you all next week on the Nerd Rundown.
Deuces.